Competitive video games, otherwise known as esports, has been around since 1972, with the first ever competition being at Stanford University for the game Space War. Now, almost 50 years later, esports is one of the biggest growing industries in the world. Riot Games is League of Legends having the biggest esports scene.
Brox is away! IG are on the Nexus! The LPL has never won before, but that will change today! The Crownless are finally king, and Invictus Gaming are your 2018 World Champions!
To put in perspective on how big esports is becoming, in 2018, the League of Legends World Championship had more viewers than the 2019 Super Bowl. And Blizzard Entertainment, starting the first ever franchise city-based esports league with their game, Overwatch.
He follows, Draco gonna chase in after Marvel, and the whole hog, a victory dance for Super, oinking his way to victory. Whoever said lightning doesn't strike twice has never met the San Francisco Shock, your 2020 Overwatch League champions.
I spoke with some students who participate in the Michigan High School Esports Federation, or MABF, to get their opinion on the growth of the industry.
I played a lot of competitive earlier games, so I knew what it kind of was to be on a team already. So it was just well, it could be cool. So I signed up for the Overwatch team, and everything just kind of was set in motion after that.
I've always loved video games. They've been a very important part of my life, not just for my own enjoyment, but also a social aspect. A lot of my friends play with me as well. And it's a good way to get involved more seriously in it and kind of dedicate a lot of your time to it. And also is a great way to build more of a team around something you like. And then also get involved with something a little more organized with the friends you usually play with.
I also spoke with Maggie Thalen, the head advisor of esports at Rockford, to get her perspective on why it's important that esports should be taken more seriously.
I think it's important because with esports, you get a lot of life skills, problem solving, critical thinking, creative thinking, communication, on and on and on. That is in a fun, real world environment as far as with video gaming. So I think it's important because it takes that curricular aspect that we're all trying to embed in all of our courses, especially at the high school and middle school level, and brings it to an area where students are interested.
With the growth of the industry, esports could very well be the future of sports.
Kind of what has taken off with esports is that people are seeing not only the interest, but the draw.
It's growing massively right now. More and more traditional sports investors are getting invested in it. More and more money is being poured into it. More countries are getting on board with it. It's booming in the US, around the cities. And the more technologically advanced we get, I feel like the more people will play video games and the more people will want to get more serious about it. So I think it'll definitely become bigger in the future.
I don't think it'll become the future of sports, but I think it'll be pretty mainstream in terms of it'll be a household thing, you know what I'm saying? In 30, 20 years in the future, it's let's tune in and watch some CSGO Overwatch, you know what I'm saying?
From just a simple competition at Stanford University to becoming a phenomenon around the world, esports only continues to grow.
If you haven't already heard about it, I'd definitely do some research into it. Because like I said, it's only going to grow from here. And more people are getting on that kind of bandwagon. And it's an opportunity that a lot of people don't think they'd be interested in, or just see gaming in general as more of a casual thing, but you can definitely get more serious into it, and it has a lot of rewarding factors.
If you compare it from 10, 20 years ago, esports, didn't even really exist. It was all really underground and stuff like that. And like I said, it's becoming more mainstream, so there's a really wide audience for it now. So it's pretty important, if you want to get in it now is probably the best time to get in it.
So we're pulling in students that are not necessarily involved in high school or don't see themselves as being part of a club or a sport, or saying doing this at home and not knowing there's a place for them to go. Where they can do that with other kids under the guidance of some adult coaches and helping them along the way. So I think that's why it's kind of expanding, as people are seeing the impact of it.
When we take a look back at esports, it's filled with innovation. Esports athletes are making millions just by playing a video game, and having millions of people watch them in a packed stadium. That is something any kid who plays video games could strive for. This has been Isaac Gould with Beyond the Rock, signing off.
Oh my God, you're a savior. Got a point.